Hey guys, Thunder E here, and today we have the ROG Phone 6D Ultimate. And you're going, wait, there's another ROG phone there. Well, there used to be the ROG Phone 6 Pro, which we covered on the channel earlier. It's right here in my hand. But the 6D Ultimate is a slightly different and similar device because it comes with a MediaTek Dimensity 9000 Plus processor. This is first time we've had a MediaTek processor in a high-end gaming device like this. So I wanted to see how it actually stacks up against, of course, the Qualcomm version. So this is sort of kind of like a Qualcomm versus MediaTek video, but not really in a sense. Let's first take a look at the ROG Phone 6D Ultimate. So honestly, it looks like the ROG Phone 6 Pro. In design, it is very similar. If you look at the back of the devices, mine of course is, the 6D has this gray look to it, while of course the 6 Pro is white. You do have an LED display at the back for both devices. Camera modules are the same. There is no top LED there that says come to play on the 6D. That's just been taken out. And then in terms of ports, you do have two ports on the device, two USB Type-Cs, one on the bottom and one on the side of the device, and of course a headphone jack, which again points to the fact that they have used the same chassis across the board. But we want to look at, of course, how this device actually handles. Now, display of course is 6.78 inches. As you'd expect, both of them go to 165 Hertz. So you've got those display specs down. Let's talk about the brass tacks. Let's look at the processors here. So when we go ahead and open up Geekbenchmark for both of them, and we first check out the CPU scores. Here you see that the MediaTek device, the Dimensity 9000 Plus on the left here, clearly beats out what we have from the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. It beats it out on CPU scores, and then we move over to compute scores. This is where we see a huge difference, almost a 2,000 points difference. So does that mean that MediaTek is clearly better? Not necessarily. It means it does run higher scores here, which is good to see. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna show you some gameplay and show you clips from both devices, and you see the benchmarks and how they perform in each game. Of course, that will be Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, Apex Legends Mobiles, and PUBG Mobile. And then, we'll move on from there.
Recharging my shields. Shooting. Enemy down.
Okay, performance across both devices was quite impressive. And it was good to see that both of them performed well. And honestly, you're going to get, from what you've seen, the same performance from both devices. You're getting that 90 frames per second on Call of Duty Mobile, which is great to see on both devices. You're also getting the max 60 frames per second in Apex Legends as well, and also getting 60 quite flawlessly on Genshin Impact, even though the Snapdragon model did dip down to about 57. The, of course, MediaTek model stayed at about 60, 61, pretty much for the average for the whole time. Now, the one thing to note is when you look at the console information for both devices here, the CPU while you're running it idle, the CPU and GPU for the MediaTek version does run a little hotter at 96 degrees, while of course the Snapdragon version is 91 and about 91 also respectively, slightly. But the internal system temperatures are much lower for both of them, about 77 to 80. So really close. I think the cooling that of course ASUS has done with both devices is pretty good. Now, What does this mean for performance and what does it mean for pricing? I honestly don't have pricing right now because I wasn't given pricing on this device, but it means that MediaTek has a processor that can compete with the highest levels that Qualcomm has to offer, which is good to see. More competition, which means next versions we're going to see are going to be much better, more effective, and also have just better performance overall. You also heard the speakers from both of them. They sounded really good. So I think ASUS has not compromised by using two different processors. Take that, Samsung, you know. But here you have a device that has two different processors giving us the same set of results, which I definitely like to see. So let me know, which would you actually pick up? Would you pick up the MediaTek version? Would you pick up the Snapdragon version, especially looking at the performance there? Even though the MediaTek has higher benchmark scores from Geekbench, let me know. Also go ahead and check out our other videos on the iPhone 14 Pro Max gaming. I know I don't have benchmarks on that, but I will be comparing that device with both of these because, of course, those are the three top chipsets on the market. So stay tuned and always enjoy entertainment.